because I didn't start it, now I feel pain because I didn't start it. So it's like the pain I was trying to avoid is exactly the pain that I got. All right, good Saturday morning. It's Saturday morning, so what does that mean? Hitting the trails. Let me show you real quick. I am in the parking lot over there. You saw earlier, that's where I practiced the spear throw when I was doing Spartan races. It is about 9 a.m. Make sure no cars are behind me. 9 a.m. and it's already about 86, 87 degrees, at least the last time I checked. So I'll show you here. Not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful day. So I'm gonna try to go as quickly as I possibly can so I can get to this run, because it's gonna be a scorcher and it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm open for the challenge of running in the super hot weather. So you see, here's my little entrance that I come into all the time. Well, it's not mine, it's open for anybody. Yeah, it's the best time. It's my favorite time of the week. Getting some me time here at the trails. Comfort zones. Ooh, what was that? It's like somebody screaming. Comfort zones, which is a topic we talked about. Jeez, now my memory's gone. I think it was episode 4, episode 5 of... Let me turn it this way. Episode 4 or episode 5 of 5 Deep. The podcast I'm a part of with my accountability partners. But yeah, so... there are 2 concepts in that Monday long vlog that I didn't bring up that I want to talk about today. And the first one is pain and regret. So I've mentioned it, I don't know, countless number of times on my podcast, Howard's Blend. I've also mentioned it in the 5 Deep podcast. I've mentioned it on social media on various posts, that the earliest memory I have of wanting to start a supplement company was in 2008. It was at the Arnold Classic bodybuilding show in Columbus, Ohio. That's the oldest memory I have. Now, I didn't actually create the LLC until it was either December of 2019 or January of 2020. I don't remember. My memory's a little bit hazy there. I would need to look at my records. But it was somewhere around there. I didn't actually have the protein powder until, I think it was March or April of 2021. So you can see there's this huge gap from 2008 to like 2019, 2020. And in that time, yeah, there were times where I, quote unquote, worked on it. I took a little action here, then took a longer amount of time where I didn't do jack shit. And I called it, I was taking half-ass action, half-ass effort, half-ass action on it. So then, I guess the point of this is why? Why from 2008 to 2019, 2020 did I take this half-ass action? Why? And it's fear. Yeah, it was fear of it not working out, the fear of failure, also, which I've had a whole episode on my podcast on. And in the very first episode of my podcast, I talked about fear. And to me, like, my definition of fear is like an anticipation of pain from not taking, from taking action, doing something. You're anticipating this pain, and that's what causes the fear. And the key word there, I mentioned, underline, bold, big ass font, is anticipation. You haven't taken the action because you're afraid to take the action. I didn't take the action because I'm afraid of taking the action. So because I anticipate, I'm assuming that there's going to be pain associated with it. So that creates that feeling in your gut like, oh crap, I'm afraid of it. And so I associated, and I can't guarantee this because I didn't take action, but in my mind, I associated that there was more pain with starting the supplement company, working to scale it, etc., than there was to stay in the life that I currently was living, which I was very unsatisfied with, and I'm still unsatisfied with some aspects of my life. But I thought that there was more pain with going for my goal that I got the idea back in 2008 than it was to stay where I was, which is a perfect example of a comfort zone. I was in my comfort zone, and I associated that there was less pain with staying in that comfort zone of an unsatisfied life than to go for, at that time, what I thought was a dream that I wanted to achieve. So that's the thing. This is where it goes to the second part of that, which is regret. Now that I look back, it's like I have regret. I'm like, fuck, I should have started in 2008. Just think of where I would be if I started 12 years ago. Well, and this is where I kind of I want to have that regret, but I have to be careful with it because there's nothing I can do now. I mean, there's nothing I can do about what happened back then. The time is gone. It will never come back. So I can't, I have to say, I have to work on not dwelling on it like, oh, I didn't start it. Oh, woe is me. Like a pity party on it. Because there's nothing I can do. However, I can use that feeling of regret, like the pain that I feel, on that word pain again, as a tool to help me learn. Like, well, I don't want to go under this again. Yeah, I don't want to, I've climbed under that before and my back didn't thank me for it, so I will go back the way I came. But I can use that feeling of regret, the quote-unquote pain, as a tool, so to speak, to help me learn from my mistakes. So if I'm faced with that decision again, I say, well, wait a second, Howard, remember how you feel and how you felt and how you feel about not starting the supplement company earlier. You don't want to go through that again, so let's do what we need to do. And so there's an irony in it, in that originally I avoided starting the supplement company because I thought that there was more pain with starting it. But because I didn't start it, now I feel pain because I didn't start it. So it's like the pain I was trying to avoid is exactly the pain that I got. So I guess now we come to, what do we do? What do you do about it? What do you do, Howard? Well, one of the techniques that has helped me is baby steps. Taking small actions. I mean, if you're wanting to run a marathon, then you don't want to go run 26.2 miles the very first day that you go run, because then you're going to possibly get injured, and it's it's not going to be a pretty sight. No, you work on, I mean, if you don't run at all, you work on maybe trying to get to a mile first, then 2 miles, then 3 miles, and then maybe 5 miles. You work your way up. You set small, manageable goals. I mean, it could be the same with any goal that you're working on. If you want to be a writer, I don't know jack about writing. If you want to be a writer and you want to write a book and you have writer's block, well then maybe work on just trying to write anything for a page. Just trying to write one page, but write anything. It doesn't matter whether it's on the story you've came up with or not. Just write anything. And then you just try to get those creative juices flowing. You know, work on small, manageable goals, because over time you soon realize, and I've done this, I've realized that you've made great strides towards your goal. I'm about to go run in that direction here shortly. There's going to be hills that I get to that are fucking hard to run up, and it sucks to run at the time. I'm like, oh shit, this fucking hurts, you know, and it sucks to run up it. But what I do then is I don't focus on, if I'm at the bottom of the hill trying to get to the top of the hill, I don't focus on getting to the top of the hill. I focus on getting to the first ledge. Then I focus on getting to the next ledge. Then I focus on getting to the next ledge. And then before I know it, halfway, 3/4 of the way up the hill. Morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning. Those small, manageable goals. That's what's helped me. Hey, hello, hello. German Shepherd, beautiful dog. This is those small, manageable goals. At least that's what's helped me. Oh, look, another German Shepherd. Nice. Yeah, I've beaten that to a horse. So I guess quickly, because oh my gosh, I've gone 12 minutes on this. Jesus. Again, way longer than I expected. That's what she said. Way longer than I expected. I guess the second concept, since I'm already here and I'm walking back towards the parking lot, is if you are having an issue with working on a goal, achieving a goal, because you might be leery of what others will think. This is something I heard. I don't know how long ago I heard it. I don't know where I heard it from, but it's an amazing concept, is that whether you go for your goal or not, people will judge you. So if you want to train for a triathlon, you're training for a triathlon every day, people are going to say like, oh, you're obsessed. Oh, that's not healthy. You know, why don't you take a day off? It's not going to hurt you to take a day off. They're going to criticize you. Versus if you just sit on your ass all day long, people are going to criticize you. He had so much potential and he threw it away. As my mom always says, and I remember this too, life is not a dress rehearsal. You only get one shot. Alright, let's go around here. I am just walking. The parking lot is literally right up this hill on the other side of these trees here. So in essence, I've kind of walked like in a huge circle. Alright, folks. Howard out.